Welcome to the third episode of my series on Alzheimer's disease, called Aging and Alzheimer's. I'm Aram, your host, and I'll be giving you an overview of how Alzheimer's was discovered, the who, what, when, where, why, and also how. The year was 1906. On the 3rd of November, a German psychiatrist and neuroanatomist called Dr. Aloysius Alzheimer's reported a confusing case of an undocumented yet severe disease that developed in the cerebral cortex to the 37th meeting of Southwest German psychiatrists in Tübingen. Dr. Alois Alzheimer described the condition of a woman, 50 years old, whom he had monitored after she had been admitted to a psychiatric ward for paranoia, progressive sleep and memory disturbances, aggression, and confusion, which ultimately ended in her death only 5 years later. His report at the time did not cause much excitement and went on to be called Alzheimer's disease, after which it was mostly ironically forgotten. Soon after becoming the chair of psychiatry in Breslau, Dr. Alois Alzheimer passed away, aged 51, of heart failure. It would be many more years until the significance of his discovery was known, with now Alzheimer's being one of the top 10 causes of death in present-day US. Alzheimer's originally discovered the disorder in the brain of patient Auguste Detta, who he had met and observed at a psychiatric hospital in Frankfurt, Germany, where he worked. In 1901, 122 years ago, a man, the woman's husband, had noticed an abnormality with his wife. Her husband eventually took her to the community psychiatric hospital in Frankfurt am Main. She remained there until her death on April 8, 1906. After her autopsy, Dr. Alzheimer examined her brain both morphologically and histologically. In the earliest 20th century, the discovery and subsequent understanding of Alzheimer's disease was indeed a gradual process involving the contributions of several key figures in the field of psychiatry and neurology. Dr. Alois Alzheimer's initial observation of the condition marked the starting point, but there were significant developments yet to come. A notable contributor to the documentation and understanding of Alzheimer's was Franz Nissl, a German neurologist who was working at a Heidelberg psychiatric clinic around the same time as Dr. Alzheimer. Franz's contribution was a method named after him, Nissl staining, as it was called, which allowed neurologists to be able to distinguish between different neurons by selectively staining their nuclei. Emil Kraepelin, German scientist and co-worker of Alzheimer's, is famous in the field of neuroscience for his many significant contributions. Kraepelin invited Alzheimer's to work with him on their research team to assist the Heidelberg Hospital. Kraepelin, at a conference, was interested in Alzheimer's findings and dubbed the disorder Alzheimer's disease. Years passed and many researchers took a stab at Alzheimer's. Robert Katzman, an American neurologist, made his contributions by pushing for public awareness of the disease and raising it from obscurity. Now, Alzheimer's has gone from being a secret hidden within the pages of an old big book to a household name. Among his accomplishments lies a very significant one. He was a co-founder of the now prestigious Alzheimer's Association, an organization dedicated to the understanding and combating of Alzheimer's disease. Overall, the discovery, documentation, and exploration of the disorder we know as Alzheimer's disease was not the masterpiece of a single individual. but the cumulative efforts of many over the ages. Recognizing the danger that Alzheimer's poses and making an effort to raise awareness is also paying respect to their achievements by spreading awareness of their works. Thank you for listening. I'm your host, Aram.